Somebody's moving in silence because they learned a hard lesson. We got the King of Cups out here, and they're just describing you as this emotionally stable teacher. And they're just talking about you moving in silence, and nobody fully knows your plan yet. And I have this feeling like you're also kind of just going with it at the moment. So maybe you haven't planned out every step, every second, and maybe that's part of it. So you're just keeping it to yourself but I do get this feeling like no one's celebrating with you. Like you're surrounded by people who aren't celebrating your wins. It's almost like they feel threatened by them, rather than being happy for what you've achieved. Now they do have you out here, as having learned some hard lessons, and these hard lessons are for your success, but they're also about your inner balance, like your inner peace. And they're saying that you changed perspectives on how you thought about love. You're changing perspectives on how you thought about relationships, what you thought was love, how you guys blended together, how you meshed, what you deserved from others. They just have you being somebody that would pour into others, and then when it wasn't reciprocated, it was almost like, I just get this feeling like you were stuck in like reactive abuse, like to where you were like thinking it was soulmate kind of energy, and it was actually more of a triggering lesson for you. And they're just talking about you having learned this because right now you know it, and you're starting to apply it, and you're starting to build healthy boundaries, which is going to irritate this person's soul. And they're just talking about this is allowing you to detach. And detaching is hard, and I don't want to downplay detachment for anybody. Detachment is hard, especially when you thought somebody was like it, and you thought you were healed, and you thought you were healthy, and like you had every inkling that everything was on the up and up. And they're just talking about you have a new perspective on things. You realize that everything wasn't that great. You were making it great, because if it wasn't great, then you were failing. And they're just talking about you've let go of that, and you've stopped judging yourself, and you've actually begun to give yourself forgiveness, not only for the most current mishaps and misunderstandings, but also for past ones. And they're just talking about this being a huge part of your spiritual transformation, because if you can't realize what's not healthy outside of you, a lot of times it's really difficult to realize what's healthy on the inside. And they're saying that you viewed the outside and then reflected it inside, which is interesting. A lot of people do the inside first and it's reflected outside of them, which is fine. But they're just saying that like you started inward work, and you've been doing it for a while, but then you had to witness how it didn't work on the outside and how it wasn't what mirrored your inside. And then that triggered your deeper thinking, that triggered your deeper voyage. And they're just talking about this being a part of you that you're kind of breaking free from, you're getting away from, and this is allowing you to have your own emotional fulfillment, and you're no longer seeking emotional love or fulfillment outside of yourself. And that does not mean that nobody will love you. That's not it. But you're no longer judging yourself. And they're just talking about you're actually starting to embrace your creativity and your passion again, because you got stuck being the person that you thought this person needed rather than the person that you truly are. So this is you bridging back into faith, bridging back into spirituality, bridging back into the positivity and the renewal that comes with you being you. This is your balancing moment. This is your communication bust. This is you traveling to better things. This is your let go. This is your transformation. And they're just talking about you're releasing the burdens that have held you back because you realized you were doing it to yourself. And as I said, you were traveling. We had the Six of Swords. You're moving away from this because you're realizing it no longer serves you. Mr. King of Cups, you've learned. 4:34 on the clock as I just glanced up. You have learned your hard lesson. And they're just saying this is a catalyst for your deeper seated awakening. This is your catalyst. This is it. This is what gets you going. This is what gives you big bitch energy. We have the High Priestess out here. I feel the need to call you a sorcerer or a warlock, which is kind of weird because I don't use either of those words. But I almost mean to do it in like a sassy kind of way. Be like, you go get it, you know. But this is just talking about your magic. Your magic, because you are so open-hearted and because you are so large in the heart chakra, that is where a lot of your power comes from. It comes from that bridging heart chakra. It comes from that type of frequency. And they're just saying that now you're starting to fully tap into it. It's no longer guarded. It's no longer as damaged. It's no longer as hurt or harmful to yourself or others. And they're just talking about at this point, you are turning this type of frequency, this type of energy into something that works for you and your magic. Because they're talking about this is a fucking game changer. This is a game changer. People talk about their third eye. People talk about their solar, but it's all heart space for you, big guy. And they're just talking about you can do some beautiful things with what you have available to you. And you are starting to realize that you are the magic. And everything else is a lesson or a tool for you to utilize. So they're just saying craft, however you want to craft. This is your transformation. And they're just saying this shift, which may feel like you're falling on your ass, is your wish fulfillment in disguise. Hidden in plain sight was exactly what you needed the whole time. A kick in the pants. Bye, B.